When the family unit breaks down, parts of society really break down. And I think the current mayor of London just doesn't really understand that concept. He has really failed us in so many ways. He owes us 400,000 homes. How many has he built? 1,600 homes is what he's built this year in 2020 that's almost at a close. It's clear that he doesn't care about housing. He doesn't care about education, and he really doesn't care about crime because he doesn't care about communities. I believe he doesn't actually understand the problem. I want to make London the best place to be as a kid. And to do that, we need to invest in our families. Our parents need help. They need more help with emotional support, with relationships, with employment, with further education. And if we can think about that as a city, about how we can be preventative, go on early and try to support them in more ways possible, we can potentially ease pressure on our housing, our education system, or even on crime.
One, two, three. Listen.
Welcome to Real Deal, Real Deal, Real Deal, Real Deal, Real Deal. Joining me today are the happy pair. Welcome to Real Deal. Welcome to Real Deal. I am Brian Rose, and we are live here at London Real World headquarters to talk about this: why investing in our families is the key to our future, and how the current mayor of London has really failed the children of our great city. And today, I want to talk about families. And let's be honest, families come in all shapes and all sizes. They're never perfect, but they're always really important. And when the family breaks down, it has a lot of ramifications for all sorts of other things in our society, from our housing to our education to even potentially crime. And I want to talk today about looking at all of those issues through the lens of the family. And I think by doing so, you'll understand, or we can understand together, how this structure is very powerful, and we can use it more than we use it now. And again, my entire campaign for Your Next Mayor of London and all of my policies really are based on this concept, and that is that prevention is better than cure. If you can do a little work now, it will save you potentially 10x that work down the line when that problem becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think if we look at the family structure that way, and I have a lot of experience with a lot of different family structures. My mother was a single mother raising 3 children. When I met my wife, she was also a single mother. I adopted her daughter, and now we have boys of our own. And so I've experienced a wide range of different family structures with grandparents and other people along as well. And I'm going to bring my own experience and also a lot of research and some incredible ideas from some other people today, and really look at the current problems that London is facing, and how by looking at prevention and the family structure, we can potentially easier solve them, or at least give these parents much more help than they're currently getting. So I'm excited to talk to you today about all things. This is going to have 3 parts, this entire Real Deal. The first thing I want to do is look at the current problems we're facing here in London and look at it from the family structure perspective, because we all know we're having massive issues here in London. The current mayor has really failed us. Knife crime is at nightmare proportions. We've also seen the failure of affordable housing being built, and we've also seen our education system really struggle. And I believe that those are massive failings of our current mayor, but I think it's because he doesn't understand the real problem. And I don't think he understands the fundamental issues that we are seeing in the breakdown of family. And I want to introduce to you some of those ideas. The next part, I want to share with you some of my own experiences and why that family structure is really important. And I grew up since the age of 7 in a single parent home. And my mom did an incredible job with me and my brother and sister. And my wife, Mariana, did an amazing job with Gabby before I adopted her. And just incredible, incredible work. But I want to find out how we can give these parents more help. How can we help them more through emotional support, through education, through job placement? I want to find out how we can really help these parents more. And lastly, I want to really explain to you my ideas on how we can make London the best place to be a kid. And I want to talk about how we can use these structures called family hubs that have been around since 2009 that are great resources for the community that work in a physical way and in a virtual way that can really pull together all of the great things happening in a community and give parents the support they need. So I'm super excited to talk about this today, and I want to finish off with my policy of family first and what I plan to do for the families here in London. And again, super excited to be talking about this. I really think this could unlock a lot of the issues we're facing here in London and many cities around the world. Before we get started, I want to hear from you. This show is live right now, and I'm going to be literally reading out your comments that you're giving me on all of our different social media platforms, and I want you to answer a few questions for me right now. And type your question in here and your answer. Again, if you've never typed in one before, start today because I'm going to be reading them off as we speak. First of all, answer this question. Do you think that the family structure, in whatever form that is, two-parent, single or lone parent, or an extended family structure, is important for a society and why? Next, do you think that investing in our families will help us solve problems like housing crisis, education problems, and problems with knife crime? Third, do you believe our current mayor has failed in his promises to reduce knife crime, to provide affordable housing, and improve our education system? How and why? And lastly, do you think we need new leadership and new ideas to take our city in a new direction? So leave me your comments below. As you probably heard, I am planning to be your next mayor of London. And on May 6th of 2021, there will be a vote here in London. And on May 7th, we plan on moving into City Hall and putting these ideas into place. If you want to learn more about my detailed policies, you can go on our website, brianformayor.london, which has been shared almost 200,000 times. Again, the support for this mayoral campaign is something we've never seen before. It's been absolutely incredible. People in the streets, taxi drivers, everybody stops me and says, Brian, we believe in what you're doing. We want you to be our next mayor. And honestly, I'm humbled by all the support and I'm empowered. And it makes me even more excited to do this incredible job. And so thank you so much. We are currently in second place and moving into first place and really putting pressure on the incumbent, the current mayor of London. And we're so excited for that. It all is because of you talking about us, you sharing the videos, you mentioning me and my policies to your friends. So please keep doing that. We really appreciate that. And again, we are moving into first place as we speak. As you know, I have been conducting the Brian for Mayor listening tour, and my plan is to visit every single borough in this city. We started off in Hackney, in Homerton, and last week we went to Tower Hamlets, and this is me going and speaking to the members of the community and then opening it up for questions and answers. This is me on the ground finding out what your problems are, what struggles you have. And I'm going to be talking about one of the women I met at Tower Hamlets later in this broadcast. She brought up an incredible point when it came around this family structure. I had some great questions when it came to fathers also struggling with the adoption process. It was really fascinating, and you can't learn these things unless you're on the ground listening to the citizens. And the truth is this. Your current mayor of London is not even going to bother doing this because he knows he'll probably get your vote. He's not going to work for it, which is why I don't think he's doing innovative policies. But I will be out there in force. And I want to announce today something that I haven't yet told the world, and that is this. We are building a bus. This is the Brian bus, our battle bus, if you will. And this is what it looks like on screen. We will be coming to every single borough in London. You're going to see this on every road in London. And we are going to be coming to you and talking to you and listening to you and ultimately serving you. And in my opinion, that's the job of the mayor. The mayor actually only has two jobs: to listen to the 9 million citizens and to serve the 9 million citizens of this city. Right now, our current mayor doesn't do either one of those things, seem to have a strange agenda associated with his party and his own career that doesn't serve the citizens of London. But we are out there. We're going to be in the streets. We're going to be talking to you and listening to you. And it's probably going to kill me, but I'm going to go to every borough in this city. I'm going to try to talk to every single citizen of this city. And I want to hear from you and find out what I can do as your next mayor of London to serve this city better. So we're very excited. We're going to be coming to you. Look out for the bus, and we'll share with you more of what's going to happen there. So let's start. I really want to talk about this important concept of family first. And let's be honest. Families, they come in all shapes and all sizes. They're never perfect, but they're always really, really important. And the truth is this, when the family unit breaks down, parts of society really break down. And I think the current mayor of London just doesn't really understand that concept. And the truth is this, he has really failed us in so many ways. And I've highlighted this over the past few weeks, and I just want to bring up some of those points. The big thing to know is that knife crime, it is at all-time nightmare levels. And you see this headline here where the current mayor, just marked his 100th teenager killed during his time as mayor. These numbers are shocking, and they are going up and up and up every single year that he is in power. He promised to fight these issues, but the truth is that knife crime has rose 38% in the year prior to lockdown. Homicides are at an 11-year high. And our current mayor of London, his response to all of this, well, he's cutting the police budget by 110 million pounds. So I did an entire episode on this. You can go back and watch it on our Real Deal page on our website, but he is failing us when it comes to crime. Next, one of the major problems of the city is a complete lack of affordable housing. And you can see this headline here, our current mayor of London, again, to miss one of his housing targets. And the truth is this, when our current mayor of London came into office, he promised 80,000 new homes per year. And if you total up the past 5 years, that means that he owes us 400,000 homes. How many has he built? Well, in 2020, he built a total of 1,600 homes. 1,600 homes is what he's built this year in 2020 that's almost at a close. And when you look at his entire tenure as mayor, he started only 34,000 homes and he completed only 12,000 new homes. That's 3% of what he promised. And this is having a massive strain on the city. He was given £5 billion by the government in 2018 to build 116,000 new homes. Where are those homes? Where is the money? It's not happening. And it's another failure for this city. And finally, we see what's happened with education. Currently, only 22% of our secondary students are not even attending school right now. That's one of the major problems here in London. And according to a recent study by the Prince's Trust, some of the shocking statistics about the state of our mind of our young children, it's really dire. And if you look at some of these numbers on screen, you'll see 44% of our younger generation, they have lower aspirations for the future. 48% feel they'll never succeed in life. And 43% of young people say, I'll never expect to have a job I really love. This is a breakdown in what we're doing for our children. The truth is, our current mayor has been very ineffective in solving these problems. And to me, it's clear that he doesn't care about housing. He doesn't care about education, and he really doesn't care about crime because he doesn't care about communities. But it goes further than that. I believe he doesn't actually understand the problem. And one of the ways to look at all of these problems is to look at the fact that we have a fundamental breakdown in the family structure. And when the family breaks down, it potentially causes other problems. And if we can just support families more in all ways, I believe we can ease pressure on our housing, on our education, and potentially also ease pressure on crime. And luckily, recently on London Real, about 2 months ago, I was really honored to have Lord Michael Farmer come on the show. And we had an incredible conversation. It's over 2 hours long. You can watch the whole thing for free on London Real or on some of our social media channels. And he has been working tirelessly for the past few years of trying to look at the problems that Britain faces and London faces through the lens of the family unit. And he believes that prevention is better than cure. And he's done some incredible work with Dr. Samantha Callan and the Center for Social Justice to try to find out how he can look at improving the family structure and that itself improving a lot of our issues around housing and education and around crime. And here's a short clip of Lord Farmer speaking with me in the studio not less than 2 months ago, talking about how governments are starting to look at everything through the lens of the family and they're starting to work together. So here is Lord Farmer.
At the moment, we're learning that there's a cabinet level family minister being appointed whose job is to coordinate policies concerning families cross-departmental government departments, so that instead of being silos where you got the Ministry of Education not wanting to work with the Ministry of Work and Pensions or something, and all their own little silo, you'll have an actual policy of, you need to work together here at local level, local council level, and at government level to produce workable, good policies.
You put a lot of time on this.
To continue watching the rest of the episode for free, visit our website londonreal.tv or click the link in the description below.